while I was, going through my last transfer, I was struggling a lot, but that answer kept coming. Neleah, all will be well because of your temple covenants.
Hello, and welcome to Returning Stronger Stories. I'm John Larson, the host, and tonight we have as a guest with us, Neleah. Thank you for being here tonight, Neleah.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Well, first I wanted to just give you an opportunity to start by telling us a little bit about your story, where you got called to, how long you were out, and why you needed to return early.
Okay, I served in the Minneapolis mission. I was out for about 5 months and returned home due to mental health reasons.
Okay, awesome. Well, good. One of the things that we've seen in doing this is that, no matter how long somebody's been out, they have really meaningful experiences. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to just share with us any spiritual or meaningful experience you had during the process of either being out there or in the process of returning.
Yeah, so there was an experience I had actually, deciding to come home, because obviously, the decision to come home was something that, ate me alive. But in September, it was super close to my last transfer. Mm-hmm. And I knew that I was just at my ending point. So I knew that I needed to make a decision if I should stay or if I should go. And I decided that I was probably going to go, but one of the times that I was going, it was during my personal study, and I just prayed super hard. I was like, Heavenly Father, I need to know if I'm making the right decision, and I'm scared of all these things. I'm scared that things won't line up, and I'm scared for everything that's going to happen. I was just nervous that what other people would think, if my job would line up, if I was making the right decision. I didn't want to regret my decision. And so I remember one personal study while I was praying my prayer that I've prayed so many times that I just got the clearest response. Nalia, all will be well because of your temple covenants. And while I was, going through my last transfer, I was struggling a lot, but that answer kept coming. Neleah, all will be well because of your temple covenants. And so when I returned home, I knew that I wanted to work back in the temple, so I got back on my shift. And anyway, my first shift back, I actually was leading people to the celestial room and got a moment to myself, and immediately it was, Neleah, all is well because of your temple covenants. So I feel like that experience really just tied in that I made the right decision and that God really had my back, and everything that I was worried about all lined up, and it was good.
That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really powerful because while a mission is a incredibly amazing experience, it's not a saving ordinance. It's not the temple. And I think that puts it in proper perspective that what's most important is those ordinances.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Yeah. So tell me, for you, what was the hardest part about returning home and what helped you get through that?
I think the hardest part for me was probably the anxiety that I had to that I was already dealing with, but then having to make that decision caused so much anxiety. The hardest thing was probably just going through with that decision, and I don't know, I just would stress myself out. I can't really explain how I was feeling. The hardest thing was that I was in my way. Mm-hmm. That was the hardest thing. And I didn't want to regret my decision. I kind of touched on that in my experience, but I was so worried about what people would think. And what really helped me was being able to talk to my mission president. He was incredible. Freaking love that guy. Heaven sent. But I got blessings from him. I got blessings from my zone leaders, and talking to my mom, that was super helpful. And my personal study, honestly.
That's great. Yeah, I think sometimes the pressure we put on ourselves is greater than any amount that anyone else does. So I'm glad you were able to seek out that support and get it.
Sweet.
Yeah, awesome. Well, what do you feel like didn't help you in the process of coming home, and what do you wish had been different looking back?
I think what didn't help, this was like when I came home. I feel like this has to do with like every return missionary coming home. But when I came home, I feel like a good handful of people came up to me and was like, "Okay, what's your next thing? Like, what's your plan now?" When really I needed to decompress everything that just happened because it was just so much to take in. But I think I would just change like that. I wish that people wouldn't just like automatically think like return missionaries have their life planned out because in reality that it's a really crazy experience. But I don't know.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
the
I
only
think
thing.
especially when you're returning home under the circumstances you were, it's like you need time to just kind of figure out what's going on and heal. And people expect that you have the answers, or like you're getting maybe some of that well-intentioned pressure of like, when are you going out again, or what's next, or that kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
that can really be kind of a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, good. So, our site is dedicated to just supporting people that are returning home, sometimes early due to any type of different challenges. And I wonder if you had advice for somebody else who may be watching this and wondering how they're going to get through it, what you would tell them.
Um, I have a couple pieces of advice. I think honestly, like people are gonna have their opinions on when missionaries come home early, and honestly, just like let them talk, let them, because at the end of the day, like in my personal journey on my mission, I was the only one that walked through in my shoes, and Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father. They were the only people that actually knew what I went through, and so I just had to be in that place where I was like, they don't understand. So my main piece of advice is let people talk, because at the end of the day, you can't make everyone happy. And honestly, like Heavenly Father is not going to leave you when you make your decision. So trust Him and trust that Jesus Christ is with you, walking with you, and holding your hand, because that's what they're there for. They're there to help you through your decision making and guide you along your path. And I think that's what's so beautiful, is that each and everyone's path on this earth is so personal and beautiful to them. And so I think just trust the journey and love it, and honestly just know like God's not leaving you.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, that's so important because sometimes it's hard to know that what the path is. It feels like maybe you've gotten off the path, or you've changed the plan in some way, but like you said, God knows what it is and it's the right path for you. And it sounds like it's kind of worked out for you since then, and that's good. So did you serve a service mission or when you returned, or did you just end your mission?
I just ended my mission. I was just ready to start the next chapter. I was given the option to do a service, and I just was like, I'm ready to start that next chapter of my life.
Awesome. Yeah, and if you don't mind sharing a little bit about what that is, like, are you going to school or working, or what is that next chapter for you?
I started working back in the temple, got back on that shift, but I
Uh-huh.
also coach tumbling, and honestly, I love my job. I'm dating my best friend, and so that was a blessing. Just everything lined up more perfect than I could ever like imagine. It's been awesome.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing your experience and your story. I think there's a power in being able to just be honest and open about it and let people know that none of us are perfect and we all have our struggles, but we can work through them with Jesus Christ, like you said. So,
Yes, thank you so much.
yeah, thank you.